my quality assurance as recommended. As given here, we are sure that the school is in the upward trajectory. We are creating confidence among the parents, the students, and making sure that this particular school, in 1 year or two, it will be among the top schools in the country, Honorable Speaker. And I have recommended what we are doing, particularly on this area of performance improvement, and for sure, we are going to make sure that the performance of this school is improved. The multi-agency team remains in place to monitor the implementation of the recommendations and to ensure that the school fully returns to normal operations. The team has regular engagements with the school management and provides reports to the ministry. The last such meeting was held on Friday and Saturday, because when I was in the school on Saturday, we had a meeting with the regional commissioner and the entire multi-agency team. They did confirm to me that all measures which were supposed to have been taken have been taken, and I also had a meeting with the school board of management where we were able to discuss that they should be able to have regular meetings in order to make sure that indeed nothing ever was wrong. And not only in Mukumu chairperson, Honorable Speaker, but in all our schools, we have been able to send a circular indicating what we expect in all our schools. Mr. Speaker, on the cost of treatment, I wish to inform the House that the Ministry, through the Head Welfare Insurance Policy, catered for the cost of treatment of the 109 students in various facilities that they were admitted to. The facilities in which they were treated include the Kakamega County General Teaching and Referral Hospital, the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, the Aga Khan Hospital Kisumu, the Kenyatta National Hospital, Rive Care Hospital, Pungoma, Oasis Hospital, Kakamega, and the Medihill Hospital in Kisumu and Eldoret. The deceased families are entitled to a group life insurance compensation of Kenya shillings 400,000 per student from the Welfare Insurance Policy, and we are following that. And in a few days' time, I'm sure that the 400,000 that, according to the policy, will be paid to the affected families. The ministry, through the regional and the county offices and the school's management, has provided guidance and support to the bereaved families in pursuing these claims, which I've said they should be paid any time from now. The requisite forms have been completed and forwarded for processing, and as a ministry, we are pursuing to ensure that expeditiously a payment to that effect is made. Lastly, whether the ministry intends to compensate families affected by the suspected contamination, Mr. Speaker, sir, as I have indicated, the ministry, through the Head Welfare Insurance Policy, pays the costs of treatment for the runners who fell sick following the contamination. The families of the deceased students, as I've said, will be paid 400,000 per student from the group life insurance cover as compensation. The ministry will also continue to provide psychosocial support for the affected families and also the students. Mr. Speaker, sir, these are the forms of compensation and support that the ministry is able to provide within the existing framework. And as I've said, this is something that as a ministry we take very, very seriously, Chairperson, Honorable Speaker, and each and every school I go to, and my senior officers, like yesterday I was in schools in Siaya. Those are some of the things that we make sure that we check to ensure that schools are able to comply and conform to the basic health requirements. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir, and honorable members. I so submit.
Thank you, CS. Honorable Boni Kalwale, you, pursuant to Standing Order 51C7, you have a right to 2 supplementary questions. You may elect to ask them now, or you may elect to ask one. Allow your colleagues to ask supplementary questions, and thereafter you ask as the last person. What do you elect? To ask 2 supplementary questions at a go, or you ask one and then choose to be the last to ask the last supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I prefer to do it the traditional way, which is that you allow me to ask 1 question, and then my colleagues will support me with whatever intervention they have, and then you give me the final say at the end.
Kindly proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, this is a very satisfactory answer, and I want to thank the Minister for the same. Minister, on behalf of the leadership of the local community, I am the head of that community. It's called Abakak Mega, comprising of the Isoha and Idaho community. I want to confirm that myself, Honorable Elsie Muhanda, Honorable Fred Ikana, Honorable Bernard Shinali, and the MCS, we are satisfied with the changes that you have made, and we are fully supporting. The second thing, we want to thank you for the intervention that you made. This was not a laughing matter. The death of a teacher and the death of 4 children was too big to bear.
Senator
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I ask my question now?
Please proceed to ask your question.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite the answer being satisfactory, there is a bitter taste in the mouth that the Director of Education in Kakamega County was fully informed of this problem long before the children died. This was not the first time it was happening. The previous year, it had also happened. It was coming because of the long rains, when the rains were sweeping feces into the spring. He ignored. Mr. Speaker, the principal of the school was fully informed. She ignored. Could the minister inform us whether he is going to take action against this director, against the former principal, for the crime of negligence that led to the death of our children? And if you are going to invite the ESCC into the school to investigate again the crime whereby there was a syndicate, the former principal was a supplier together with the employees of the school. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those are 2 questions. Proceed to answer the 2 questions, Honorable CS. One is to whether you're going to take an action for the criminal negligence of the principal, and the third is the syndicate that the principal was involved in the supply of goods to the school. So those are 2 questions. You've exhausted your right, Honorable Boni Kalwale.
The B.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. One, what we don't allow, and I want to make it very clear to all the principals in the country, is that principals or anybody working within a school is not supposed to be a supplier, because that makes it conflict of interest, and then we find that most likely when you find those cases, there will be misuse of public funds, not only for Mukumu, but any public secondary schools. Kindly, Honorable Speaker and the honorable members, once you find any such specific case, let me know. I will be able to investigate, and for sure I will be able to take the necessary disciplinary action, not only removing that particular principal from that school, but also even trying to investigate to see whether public funds have been embezzled in the process. I met a number of principals, all the principals of national schools. I've had a meeting. I've had a meeting with the principals in various parts of the country, and one of the items of agenda that we discuss is on this. I've had a meeting with all my county directors, and we normally have virtual meetings, and one of the embassies we make is on this. So kindly, Honorable Speaker, through your permission, in case the honorable member has empirical evidence that there was anything like this, I would like the evidence so that I'm able to investigate further, and if we find that it was the principal supplying food, then for sure we will be able to take some action, because we took her from there, and she is due to retire in December. We gave her, as we are doing some investigation, some soft landing in the provincial director service for the time being, because she has